Namaste, everyone. ChristianRLong, life enhancement consultant, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this Tuesday evening. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a beautiful Monday night, resting up and recuperating from who knows what you were doing this past weekend. Hopefully it was nourishing and nurturing to you. If not, you had Monday night to recover from it. And I want to jump on. Alex, Namaste. What's up, girl? I want to jump on real quick, give you guys the live stream that we do each and every day for 2019. The topics we discuss on these live streams are energy healing, meditation, and practical spirituality. It's a beautiful day here in Denver, Colorado. It's about I think 4:30 right now, if I can see it clearly. Come to the Stampede tomorrow night. You guys are going to be at the Stampede. For any of you who know Alex, she loves her country line dancing. For anybody that knows me, don't love country line dancing. But maybe to go out, have a little fun, mix it up with you guys. I appreciate the invite. What time are you going to be there? 7:30, 8:30? Let me know. So, I remember many, many years ago, this would have been about 2008, roughly. This would have been towards the end of 2008 into 2009. I went to a pranic healing event. Feels like 65 degrees. Yeah, it's totally super warm out for sure. I went to a pranic healing event known as the Arhatic Yoga Retreat. It's an annual event where Arhatic Yoga practitioners from all over the world come together to meditate together, to do healings together, and to learn from the master and senior pranic healing practitioners together. And I was specifically going to this event because I was on my last few $100s. I had just realized that something major happened in my marriage at that time, and I needed to get away. I needed healing in a major, major way, like right on the brink of being, of losing my mind kind of healing. And I said, well, of all the places I know, if I'm going to get healing, really serious healing, really deep healing, where should I be going? Where should I be directing my last few dollars and resources to? Amanda, Namaste. And guess what? I ended up directing myself to the annual Arhatic Yoga Retreat in Mahwah, New Jersey. Mahwah, New Jersey. And Mahwah, New Jersey is about 40 or so minutes from New York City, give or take. Depends on traffic. It could be 40 minutes, it could be 4 hours, right? It depends. So the retreat, the Arhatic Yoga Retreat, had been happening up until that point every year for probably about 15 or 16 years at that point in 2008. And so I was, my original plan was to go to the retreat, get some healing, get some clarity, and then drive from New Jersey, take a bus, and go to see my father in Massachusetts. That was the plan. Because I had to get my head on straight. I had to figure out what my next move was, what my next plan was. I needed to get my life together from the news that I had realized or found out in Florida with my marriage. And yes, I got healing. Yes, I got insight. But I never ended up leaving New Jersey to go to Massachusetts. In that weekend, I got several healings from the pranic healing masters. I had a job lined up in that area, and I had a full-time, and then I had a place to live in that area, and I had transportation to get me to and from the job, all within one weekend. And I had regular opportunities to receive more healing and to do more service. But I'll never forget, as I was sitting down with one of the master pranic healers, pouring my guts out, pouring my heart out, telling him all the challenges and the issues and the pains that I was going through. He told me two things I'll never forget. As long as I live, I'll never forget these things. The first one, he says, Christian, you are entitled to be happy, and your soon-to-be ex-wife is also entitled to be happy. And I thought to myself, all right, well, right now in this very moment, I'm not very happy. I'm actually sad, angry, frustrated, confused, Not very happy right now, but I'm catching the drift that you're trying to throw me here. All right, so at some point in my near or even distant future, I'm going to be happy. This will all be a distant memory. Okay, kind of get it, right? Then the second thing that they told me that I'll never forget, which is the topic of tonight's stream, is all suffering is deserved. And I thought to myself, whoa. Nitin, namaste. Blew my mind when I heard him say that. All suffering is deserved. Now you might be thinking to yourself, what a heartless, cold, cruel, mean thing to say to somebody who had just experienced this tremendously traumatic event that would have devastated most people. And this just happened, within a week period of knowing what I knew. That all suffering is deserved. And what does that mean? What does it mean that all suffering is deserved? Yara, Abma Namaste. It means, Heather, Abma Namaste. It means that anything that is happening in your life, for better or for worse, is because of seeds that you planted in this incarnation or that you planted in previous incarnations. Have you ever heard the saying that somebody has something bad happen to them and they go, I don't deserve this. I didn't deserve to have that person cut me off in traffic. I didn't deserve to have that car accident. I didn't deserve to have that tax bill. I didn't deserve to have my partner or my significant other to treat me like this, right? We've all said that in some way, shape, or form in some area of our life, that I don't deserve blank. You know why that's not accurate? Because it happened to you. The mere fact that something happened to you that was maybe not so pleasant, maybe not so warm and fuzzy, is an indicator, it's self-evident that you deserved it. Because if you didn't deserve it, it wouldn't have happened to you. Right? If you didn't deserve it, it wouldn't have happened to you. So the fact that something happened to you, Prashant, I'm an namaste, the fact that something happened to you, for better or for worse, it's self-evident that you deserved it. Now in the moment, when he said that, I go, why do I feel like this pain is being lifted off of me? Why do I feel like the clouds are parting in my consciousness? Why do I feel relieved? Why do I feel better in this moment? Nothing has externally changed. The external world is exactly the same that it was before he told me this. But when he told me that, things started to change. And then I'm reminded of the Eightfold Path of Buddhism. For any of you who have studied Buddhism, the major tenets are the Eightfold Path of Buddhism and the Four Noble Truths of Buddhism. And the first step of the Eightfold Path is right viewpoint. So if you have right viewpoint about a situation, that means you have right thoughts, you have right speech, you have right actions, you have right livelihood, you have right practice, right? You have the right. But if you have wrong viewpoint, everything superseding it will be inaccurate, will be wrong, will be incorrect, right? So he was giving me right viewpoint around my situation. And so Prashant's saying, it's funny you're talking about what is on my mind, just topic is different. Yes, correct. You guys are always my inspiration. Don't you realize that? If you guys don't give me feedback, I don't have topics to discuss and to cover, right? Because these live streams are for you guys. So when he said that all suffering is deserved, I thought to myself, well, this happened to me in my life. It was very unfortunate. It was very painful. It brings about a lot of negative thoughts and negative feelings in my life. So if his viewpoint is all suffering is deserved, then that implies that I must have created a similar kind of energy or circumstance in the life of another person. I'm suffering from this right now. I must have caused that same suffering to another person similarly, right? So what does that then lead me to do? It leads me to practice forgiveness on myself. It leads me to practice forgiveness on the person who did me the pain and the suffering, because that means through the law of karma and the principle of oneness, that person is also going to suffer. And that makes me go back in time and to ask energetically and psychologically, to ask for forgiveness to the person that I caused a tremendous amount of pain and suffering to. Right? So it's forgiving the person, it's forgiving the current person and forgiving the previous person. So Prashant says, you can read my post after you're done with this stream to relate. Ah, yes. Very good. So it's very interesting because there are certain times in our lives that we're open and receptive to hearing feedback. And there are other times that we are not open and receptive to hearing feedback, even if it's the truth. Right? So Master Chola Koksui says, when you're at a position where it's truth or loving kindness and non-injury, loving kindness and non-injury supersedes, is more important than honesty, because honesty without warmth, without compassion, without sweetness and joy is sharp and can be seen as cruel or hurtful. Even though it's true, you can use truth as a weapon to other people. And that's why symbolically and metaphorically, when we talk of swords, right, swords in certain stories, folklore, swords and symbols, like designs, a sword typically means truth, because a sword is cutting. A sword gets to the heart of the matter, but it's not very loving, is it? It just cuts to get to the core, to get to the essence. But if somebody's not ready for truth, truth can be a weapon. Truth can be painful. Truth can be hurtful. Truth can be making us want to curl up in a ball to protect ourselves. So that's why when someone says, give it to me straight, they better be ready for what that straight is. Right? So in that moment, apparently, in that moment when I was meeting with that master pranic healer, I must have been in a receptive state. I must have been in a give it to me straight kind of mood for him to say what he said, because I've tried to say that to other people over the past 10 years, and they have not been open and receptive to it. In fact, I wrote a long article for a well-known blog. I'm pretty sure many of you would have heard of it. I've written for blogs in the past, but this was a really big national blog that many people, like millions of readers, were part of this blog. So I wrote an article, and they really enjoyed it because they were reading my blog on my website, and they liked a lot of the articles, and so they asked me to write something. And so I wrote it, and they didn't approve of it. They didn't approve of it, and I thought, what's weird? You guys went to my blog, you read other posts that I made, and you liked those. Why didn't you like this particular blog post that I did? And they got back to me quickly, and they were honest about it, and they said, you made a reference to sexual abuse, because this particular blog primarily was read by women. You made a reference to all suffering is deserved connected to sexual abuse, right? So what was I being? I was lacking loving kindness and non-injury. I was being truthful. I was being honest, because if you take that viewpoint and you say, well, all suffering is deserved, you cannot experience something if you have not planted that seed. It's true. It's honest. Jessica, Namaste. It's true. It's honest. It's accurate. But it's lacking loving kindness and non-injury. So someone who has experienced sexual trauma or sexual abuse and they hear something like that, what happens? They close off. They're no longer willing to engage in the conversation. They're no longer willing to have an exchange of energy and thoughts between themselves and the author, right? So I basically blew that opportunity to spread a great spiritual teaching because of that. Now, that's my fault because I was not balancing loving kindness with honesty. I was just going for, here's the honesty, right? And I realized that's not always the best approach. That's not always the best approach. The way I prefer to work when people are coaching me, when people are mentoring me, and when people are healing me, is I prefer them to give it to me straight. I may not like it. I may fight you a little bit. I may resist it or even reject entirely what you're saying, but at least give it to me straight. Give me the opportunity to meditate on what you're saying and going, all right, is there a level of truth to what this person is saying? What perspective, what am I not seeing? Why is this truth upsetting me? Why is it making me angry? Why is it stirring up all these things within me, right? But if somebody sugarcoats, if somebody downgrades truth, it's not giving me the opportunity to go to the highest level of truth. It's just a little tiny stepping stone. I'd rather give it to me all, right? And actually a friend of mine who I ended up working with for a period of time in New Jersey for about maybe 8 or 9 months when I went from Florida to New Jersey, he used to have these really intense moments of pulling me aside in the shop that he owned, and he would just lay into me because of something I was doing wrong. And I remember one time he said to me, he goes, you know what one of your strengths is, or as I would call one of your superpowers? He goes, your ability to handle criticism and negative feedback, take it to heart, and change because of it. So even though he was yelling at me, screaming at me, swearing at me because he was super upset about losing time and losing money from my mistakes for his company, I wouldn't say anything, and I would just let him talk and let him run through what he had to say, and I would go, you're right. I messed up. I made a mistake. This is why I made the mistake, and I will do better moving forward by doing this, this, and this, and not doing this, this, and this. Ta-da! But not everyone's like that, and I have not always been like that my entire life. Usually, I wouldn't take criticism very well. I would fight it, I would argue it, I would justify it, I would rationalize my position, negating what the other person said, right? So if you want to progress personally in your career, in your health, in your relationships, in your spiritual practice, if you want to progress in any of the major areas of your life, what you're going to have to do is put your ego on the side. You can pick it up whenever you're ready, but temporarily put your ego on the side and listen to the feedback. Jasper, namaste. Shout out from the Philippines. Right? You have to put your ego on the side and then receive the feedback. That's very difficult for most people because what do we have a tendency to do? We have a tendency to protect, to redirect, to squirrel our way around the criticism that we're getting because we think by somebody telling us where we went wrong that we are wrong, as in the core of who and what we are is wrong, and that's not true. If you made a mistake in something, Christoph, namaste. If you made a mistake in something, it doesn't mean you are a mistake. It simply means your thought process, your viewpoint was inaccurate. Correct your viewpoint, then you have correct thoughts, correct words, correct actions, correct livelihood, correct practice, correct oneness, right? Does that make sense? But if you won't change your viewpoint because of pride, because of ego, then you continue to stay stuck, you continue to suffer, and then the current seeds that you plant will be the wrong seeds, and then in the future you will harvest the wrong crop, and then you'll be upset and go, why I didn't deserve this. No, it would be like a farmer planting a mango seed, getting a mango tree, and then saying, I don't deserve to have mango trees, I deserve to have watermelons. Well, it doesn't work that way. You plant mango seeds, you get mango trees. You plant watermelon seeds, you get watermelons. Right? Watermelon patch, is that what it's called? So that goes back to our original point of tonight's topic. All suffering is deserved. And all good things that happen in your life are also deserved. Because it's based on the law of karma. You do a good you plant a good seed, you get a good harvest. You plant a bad seed, you get a bad harvest. But again, you have to look at the karma from the perspective of the soul, not just the perspective of this lifetime, this incarnation, this physical body, right? Somebody goes, well, my spouse cheated on me. So you're saying I deserve to be cheated on because I cheated on somebody. Well, I've never cheated on anybody in my entire life. Correct. This lifetime. What about other lifetimes? Were you faithful as a partner in previous incarnations? Right? So that's why you have to look at karma from the soul's perspective, not from a one lifetime perspective. Very, very valuable. So those were the two nuggets that I walked away with at that time in my life that literally transformed and changed the trajectory of my entire life. That Arhatic Yoga retreat and that conversation I had with the Master Pranic Healer. That I'm entitled to be happy, my ex-wife is entitled to be happy, and all suffering is deserved. Changed the course of my life in a lot of ways. So I share this with you to give you inspiration, to give you insight, to give you more accurate viewpoint. It has nothing to do with negating anything that bad that has happened to you or is happening to you, right? It's not to make you suffer. It's not to be cruel or mean or to disregard your feelings or to disregard the circumstances that you're currently going through. It has to do with giving you right viewpoint, because with right viewpoint, it alleviates your suffering and it gives you more realistic expectations of what to do moving forward. That's all. So I hope it helps. If I can help you further, then go to ChristianRLong.com/services. That way you can get coaching that's very specific to your situation, and you can get healing that's very specific to your situation. And as of next month, it'll be 20 years that I've been a professional energy healer. No, I'm sorry. It'll be 20 years that I've been meditating regularly, and it'll be 15 years that I've been a professional energy healer. Time flies when you're evolving. And that's it, guys. So thank you for being on the stream. Thank you for your cute little comments below. Feel free to ask any questions in the comment section, or you can post it on, whatchamacallit. You can also add the questions in the Facebook, direct message. So you can direct message me if you don't feel comfortable putting the information directly onto the stream, which is okay. I have complete confidentiality with my clients, so most people don't even know who my clients are for that very reason, unless they're open and willing to share that with other people. And that's it. So thank you very much for sharing your time, for sharing your energy. May God and my teacher, Grandmaster Choa Koksui, bless each and every one of your lives in all areas without exception. And I look forward to connecting with you guys tomorrow, because we do these streams each and every day for the year of 2019. If you are looking for a topic for us to cover, I'm always looking for inspiration from within and without. Feel free to put in a topic request in the comment section below. Direct message me, email me at ChristianRLong@gmail, whichever works for you, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. This is Christian R. Long, Life Enhancement Consultant, wishing you a beautiful Tuesday night, a beautiful week, and a beautiful life. Atma, namaste. Bye-bye.